Okay, let's try number 3 on the test. Y equals x squared plus 2x plus 3. We know that because the leading coefficient is positive, it's going to open up. So again, if the points are showing us that it should be opening down, then that means we're doing the math wrong in determining the points. The second thing is then to check the axis of symmetry. So x equals negative b over 2a. So here's your b right here. So the axis of symmetry, x equals negative, and then in the numerator we have b, which is the 2, it's the positive 2 here, and the 2 times a, and since there doesn't look like there's an a, it's actually 1. So therefore, x equals negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. So we know that the axis of symmetry is negative 1, which means that what we can do now is put a kind of a dotted line through negative 1, and that shows us the axis of symmetry. So the parabola will be the same on both sides of it. We also know that the vertex has to be on the axis of symmetry, so the x value has to be negative 1. And so now we're going to take negative 1 and we're going to substitute that into our original equation. So y equals negative 1 squared. And notice I put the negative 1 in parentheses because we are squaring the negative 1. So again, if you're getting these wrong a lot because of dealing with negative numbers, put parentheses in place of the variables. And put your number in there, and then hopefully you'll then treat that correctly. So if we take negative 1 and square it, a negative times it's a negative is a positive, so that's going to be 1. And then plus, and then 2 times a negative 1 is a negative 2 plus 3. Be careful, don't go minus 1 minus 5. This is 1 minus 2, just work from left to right. 1 minus 2 is negative 1, and negative 1 plus 3 is 2. So when x is negative 1, y is 2. And so that is going to be our vertex. Now we need to find 2 other points. And so what we want to do is we want to take x values that take you towards 0. And the only reason for that is so that you work with smaller numbers, usually easier to work with. So we started out at negative 1, so as you go towards 0, the next number to try then is 0. And then after that, you go 1 more, and so you're going to do 1. So we're going to do 0 first, and this is easy to do because that 0 substituted in here makes this first term 0. 2 times 0 is 0, so this first part is 0, so we're left with 3. So when y is 0, or when x is 0, y is equal to 3. And as you can see, then as we plot that point, that we are in fact going up, which is what this tells us, this leading coefficient tells us we should be doing. The next point is 1, so we're going to substitute all the x's with 1. And so we get 1 squared, which is 1, plus 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3. And so we get 3 plus 3, which is 6. So when x is 1, y is 6. Plot that point. We now have our 2 other points, and now we're going to reflect both of those. So this first point takes 1 to get to the axis of symmetry, so we go to the other side by 1. And then the second point takes 2 to get there, so we go 2 more places. There we have it. So now then we can draw this, and again, try not to make a V. Make it a U. A V is a different type of function. And so there is number 3.